Sim racers are debating about using a triple screen over a PCVR headset, and today I'm trying to give you my personal opinion about this question because I have tested the Pimax Crystal Lite and the Pimax Crystal Super QLED PCVR headsets, and I'm trying to give you my opinion of which solution is best for you. So let's dive into the video. Let's start with thinking about some core questions and some core bullet points about your PC and your hardware performance, because it needs to be able to either support a triple screen setup in the first place, or even more so to support a high quality PCVR headset. For that reason, I've brought up the technical specifications from the Pimax Crystal Lite and the Pimax Crystal Super PCVR headsets. And in those technical specifications you see already big differences between the Crystal Lite and the Crystal Super, but have to bear in mind that these resolutions per eye, also the pixel per degree and the refresh rate, needs to be done by your GPU and CPU for two screens inside this headset. So we need to really have a closer look on the resolution. What is a resolution of 2 times 4K within the Crystal Super, meaning compared to a 1440p triple screen setup, and so on. So that is one of the key questions you need to look at when deciding whether to go for a triple screen or a PCVR headset. Furthermore, so the PCVR headset does come with additional risks towards you, because if the PCVR headset is not delivering smooth and fluid pictures, you may encounter the issue of having motion sickness. Something you would not get as much on a triple screen setup, because the environment of the PCVR headset is the only thing you see is the screen. And that is something you need to be aware about. And even though the pictures might come fluidly through the PCVR headset, you still may encounter motion sickness. So that's one thing you need to be aware about. For that reason, before going into a PCVR headset, I would suggest going onto a trade fair, going to a trade show, use one of these PCVR headsets in the first place before making an ultimate decision. Something else to consider is the amount of settings and the amount of adjustments you may have to do for both setups. Remember, a triple screen is not just like a screen and like two triples left and right. They could also be more further away, more closer to you. That all needs settings, and that all needs alignment between those three screens. However, that's not the only thing. We're also talking about field of view in a triple screen, accessibility into the simulator, how close can the screens get to you, how much intimidation you find from the bezels, left, right, from the center screen, and so on. This is all settings that is going to be tricky on the on physically setting up the triple screen. However, on the PCVR headset, you have also multiple settings for the PCVR headset itself: refresh rates, quality rendering, field of view. Also, you need to check inside the game, where is the HUD, how can you see different elements of the HUD, how do you take control of the computer when you want to tap out of the game. Remember, in the PCVR headset you don't have your keyboard inside, stuff like that. So there is different kind of episodes and different kinds of solutions you need to think through for each and every problem you might encounter while setting it up. From a personal experience, I'd say it's a bit more tricky to set up the PCVR headset, but what you get in reward and what you get in return from it is one of the most immersive sim racing and racing experience that you'll ever see. For those of you that are just waiting for the best offer to buy your Pimax PCVR headset, that opportunity is now. Make sure to use my promo code Michi on the Pimax store and receive a 2% discount on the entire sales volume upon checkout. Simply click the link for the Pimax Crystal Lite or the Pimax Crystal Super in the video description below and find the promo code Michi directly activated when entering the store. iRacing fans and iRacing players, be aware though, because from today on up until September 30th, 2026, you can extend your active membership on iRacing by 12 months or either receive a 12-month membership as a new iRacing member if you use the promo code MichiMagic_iRacing. Please note though that the iRacing offer cannot be combined with the 2% discount of the promo code MichiMagic. And for those of you that are still on the fence and are still undecided whether to actually go for one, I have some more points for supporting your decision making now. But before that, guys, if you find this video insightful and useful, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe us on the YouTube channel, and let me know down in the comments area below whether a PCVR headset is something that you would like to see on your racing rig at home. The core question will be whether VR is giving you any additional information, any benefit over using a triple screen or an ultra-wide screen. Or in short, is VR able to solve some problems that you cannot really solve with a triple screen or an ultra-wide screen? For that reason, I've jumped into Le Mans Ultimate with using the Pimax Crystal Light. And we are going to explore a couple of areas where I'd say VR is certainly beneficial in some areas, and then we also talk about the things where probably the triple screen or the ultra wide screen setup is still more beneficial to you. Let's head into more VR experience, into more VR footage from our streams, from our clips, and explore a little bit the benefits of virtual reality with the Pimax Crystal Light. And we're jumping into the hypercar here at Sebring into the hairpin. You saw we still made contact with the GT3, but to really see what we do in head movement or even just looking with the eyes on the inside, I can sadly not really replicate this, but all I would need to do is like move the eyes inside the PCVR headset in order to see the GT3 and my positioning towards these GT3s. In order to indicate this a bit more clearly here from the back-end camera, you see we're checking on the right-hand side, is that Mercedes still there? And also on these GT3 that we're diving here into turn 2, on the inside, are we clear before getting through the kink? Yes, we are. Another GT3 ahead of us, once again a different angle. We pass the GT3 and then we have a quick look on the right-hand side mirror, right-hand side window. Yes, is the car still there or is it not? Of course, I do not own a triple setup, but still it has to be said, even though if your triple setup is perfectly set up, you would most likely need to move your head to the left and to the right screen to actively look onto the side where are all the cars, whereas here in the PCVR headset, a quick glimpse on the left, maybe only with rolling the eyes to the left, is absolutely sufficient. Having an ultra-wide screen setup, like me, comes with a couple of disadvantages. Here we are in heavy traffic trying to fight for position. Where are the cars? There is no way to move my head around my current viewing position, the only position that I do have for racing on this screen. And this becomes even more awareness, or there is even more so a feeling for the limitations on this type of setup as we are going into another battle. Here with the GT3 on the outside, I almost cut him across. Thankfully on the radar we could see where is the car next to us, but then speaking about having a car next to us, that hypercar for at least 2 seconds have been completely invisible for myself on this ultra wide screen. The only little bit that I do see from the car next to me is a little glimpse that we have in the virtual mirror, or obviously the indication here on the radar. So for that reason, VR and the virtual reality application is a very beneficial addition and absolutely a benefit over any type of screen setup, I have to admit. As we're moving on, immersion. Here we are moving down a window on a car that shouldn't have a window mover in the first place. And then we grab a little bit of fresh air before coming back, driving the car again, moving up the window. Here we go, moving it up, and then hitting the brakes, going around the corner still hitting the apex. Well, speaking about immersion, it's also about car positioning, feeling of the car. Where are we in relation to other cars? As we here did a little bit of a mistake in the hypercar outside turn 1. How aggressive can we come back on the track? A quick look to the left, out the window, where are my competitors? And then we can come back onto the racing line. And also speaking about car performance, car control, car behavior, we have a little bit of a moment in that Mercedes LMGT3 going up Eau Rouge, and really the VR application gives you a great immersive feeling about what the car's doing. And talking about immersion, ever run an F1 car through the streets of Monaco? You can certainly do so in VR, and you can do many more immersive things with this. After having used the Pimax Crystal Light PCVR headset, I'm now coming to the conclusion where I show you a couple of VR benefits and a couple of triple screen benefits to help supporting your decision moving forwards here. So the first thing to mention is, with a PCVR headset, you are absolutely seeing the position of your car at almost any angle desirable. Certainly the way you move your head, the way you're moving your body all around, the PCVR headset is recognizing that movement within the 3D room and will give you views and look and insight into areas in the car, around the car, that will not be possible with using a triple screen or an ultra wide screen. The second positive is you will be able to judge spaces and room given between cars in heavy battles and close battles much better because of an improved 3D vision, a better feel for distance, a better feel for depth in this three-dimensional room. So that will improve racing and car positioning. Additionally, you will stay focused on using the VR no matter what, because anything that you can see while using the PCVR headset is in the game. In the car is full focus on the screens ahead, is full focus on the road ahead, and you will not be that much intimidated from any external influence on that point. And last but not least, a sharp and clear pictures with a 35 pixel per degree field of view, beating the average 1440p screen setup in terms of clear and sharp and good picture visualization. However, on the other side, what is the benefit for triples and ultra wide screen to be used? That is clearly not having to wear a headset at all the time. Therefore, this will probably be more a better user case for running in endurance races, or generally be running in that environment for a longer period of time. Also, you can react more freely to things happening around you, whether that is managing the computer, your wife coming over saying, hey, I need you real quick, or even if you just need to get out of the car, back into the car, getting comfortable again. There a triple or an ultra wide screen setup is surely beneficial. Number 3 is driving performance. In my comparison, I found myself to be like 5 to 7/10 off the pace, but that is me. That is a personal issue with me, because I am trained for over 20 years on just basically using the screen, using my sensors in order to retrieve the information that I do get from the car. So there is a little bit of a transmission that needs to be done. When you successfully have done that, I'm pretty sure you will have not any downside on the performance at all due to the positive things. But of course, if it takes a lot of time for you to adapt, then maybe sticking with a triple screen or ultra wide that you currently have might be the better solution. And then last but not least, if you prioritize comfort and convenience over immersion and realism feel, then for sure using the triple screen or the ultra wide screen is being the better solution. And at this point, I'd like to quickly come back to the 2 PCVR headsets from Pimax that are in scope today. This is the Crystal Light that we have been using in this video, which is, you know, the PCVR headset for beginners or for people that come from a lower spec PCVR headset such as the Quest 3 and want to upgrade and experience a very much affordable, high quality VR racing simulations. And on the other hand, we do have the Pimax Crystal Super, which is the high-end PCVR headset made for high-end gaming PCs and for users that want to enjoy the most immersive, the most crystal clear, and the most intense VR racing situations. So if these bullet points gave you a better idea on how you want to proceed, then maybe it's now time to check out the Pimax store for your PCVR headset. Make sure to use the code MichiMagic on checkout to save yourself 2%, or make sure you use the code MichiMagic_iRacing for either extending your existing iRacing membership by 12 months, or if you're new into iRacing, want to get into iRacing, you receive a 12-month free membership as well. Just be aware you cannot make use of the code MichiMagic and the 2% if you go in the iRacing route. That's it what I have to say for this video. In the next video, guys, we're gonna talk about what happens when we upgrade from a Pimax Crystal Lite to a Pimax Crystal Super and enjoy an even wider range of pixel per degree in vision.